What's up, guys? Welcome back to episode 6, where I take on the stupidity that is Flat Earth and those that push it. Now, today, we're going to be addressing a claim made by a lot of Flat Earthers. Some notable ones in particular would be Terry Reicher, Caleb F.E., and Mr. Dearth David Weiss. They all seem to be confused about Flight Pass, and it usually goes something like this.
Now let's check out a flight from New York to Moscow, Russia. Okay, now if you look up the flight pattern on Google Maps, it will show you a route leaving New York, going through the tip of Canada, then through the tip of Greenland, then through the tip of Iceland, through Sweden, and then into Moscow. Now, doesn't that strike a little bit awkward with you guys? I mean, anybody with common sense knows that the fastest route between A and B is in a straight line. So anyways, on a globe, this would be your shortest route from New York to Moscow.
Terry, I hate to be the one to break this to you, but yeah. That's not a globe. Let's see if Mr. Caleb F.E. gets it right. What you got, Caleb?
Now, in this flight, they made us stop in Amsterdam, which on the globe would make no sense. Why wouldn't they just fly from here straight through and stop in Africa?
Okay, Caleb. We're getting a little closer. At least you're using a picture of a globe, and like that Terry guy, he wasn't even using a globe. But it's still just a 2D representation and still pretty misleading. Let's see what David has to say.
From Taiwan to Los Angeles, and Hawaii's out there kind of in the middle. Right about here, there was a medical emergency. Where would you land if you were the pilot?
Hawaii.
Right, or maybe go to Los Angeles. Instead, they went all the way up to Alaska.
What?
Why did they go to Alaska? The answer is because this is the route. Taiwan,
Oh, shit.
emergency, Alaska. Hawaii is all the way out here.
And that highlights the problem right there. You heard the guy that David was talking to. He bought that bullshit. Hook, line, and sinker. Without any critical thought whatsoever. And this is what all you Flerfs are guilty of. So let's apply some critical thought to this emergency landing in Alaska that just doesn't make no sense on a globe. Now, David was confused about the emergency landing from Taiwan to LA when they landed in Alaska. Well, let's see how that would actually look on a globe. So with my lovely assistant here, I'm going to hold a piece of string right there on Taiwan. And then I am going to come all the way over here to LA. As you can see, if there was an emergency anywhere in the flight, it would make sense to deviate right there to Alaska. Right there. Just a little bit. Right there. So what started this whole deal is I was in a live stream this morning with Chris Van Am, and he brought up a trip from Tokyo to New York City. Now, he said that it would be quicker to go from east to west rather than go over the polar region. So let's test that theory. Yep, right there's Tokyo. You see it? All right. And then we're going to go all the way around across the United States to New York. You see New York right there. And you see the line go all the way around, correct? Now, let's set this string down. Let's see how long it is. That's how long that string is. Tokyo. And then we're going to go straight over the poles, all the way down to New York City, right there. Boom. And look at that. Right over the polar area. All right, let's see how long that string is. We set them down. Ooh, it looks like the east to west route was not the shortest. And the reason why flat earthers believe this is because they actively choose to not apply any critical thought to this. After 6,000 years, the only evidence that they can claim is, Earth must be flat because I think I see too far. And that's it. So they're desperate to grab onto anything that might confirm their belief. When a flat earther on YouTube presents the Mercator map and says, why does the flight do this instead of doing this? That don't make no sense. And as you heard from Terry earlier in that first video, he was showing you a Mercator map with the flight route on it and said, this is what it would look like on a globe. It's not a globe. And then you see Caleb and David both using the Gleason projection map to demonstrate how it would work on a flat earth. But what they don't understand is that Gleason map is a projection of the globe from directly above the North Pole. And if you look down on an actual physical globe from above the North Pole, you can see that all the flight routes make sense, including the one from you, Chris, from Tokyo to New York City. You can see that when you look at it from the top down, like the Gleason projection, everything works fine. You guys are being fooled by con men. You should really start acknowledging that. All right, that's going to do it for today's video. As I said earlier, this was stemming from a live stream that I was in this morning with Chris Van Am. And apparently somebody debunked the 1972 blue marble. They said that timeanddate.com, their map for daylight distribution, doesn't match that day. We're going to find out about that in the next episode. See you then.